dining room of La Terraza. Exactly. We taste our
We get
things.
to taste our creations.
You come near us again, and I'll arrange for you to be eaten.
So now we're in the executive dining room of La Terraza. What do you guys think?
It's lovely.
I know.
It's beautiful.
Yes, we can now eat.
Like for 2 hours.
This,
So I'm
yes,
hungry. When do we eat?
yes, yes. This
Okay.
is the moment that you guys have been waiting for.
So here we go. The
So-
potato salad
yep.
that you made.
Oh, the napkin. Well, they're ahead of me already. Look at that. In etiquette.
We know how to eat.
Okay. I'm still fixing the napkin. Perfect.
And you know what? The apple makes a difference. Yeah, really good.
That's awesome.
Oh.
Okay, let me try this one.
This is the
This is
tuna tartare.
really good.
You guys must check out the website. So good. Delicious.
Oh, this is so good.
What's so interesting is that these two beautiful women here worked together, and you guys just did Random Acts of Romance, where Amanda
Yeah.
Tapping was starring, Katrine was directing.
Yeah, it was so cool because I've known Amanda for years. And
15 years.
yeah. And when I first moved to Vancouver, I was just doing some stand-in work and photo doubling, and I stood in for Amanda back in the day.
Back in the Stargate
Really?
days.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I really,
That is
you were
so
really
amazing.
nice. You know, she was just like a really nice person. You know, there's a lot of hierarchy on set, and you were just super nice and cool, and you introduced yourself to me, and it was just, I just always remembered that. And I remember you sharing a story about doing comedy. And so when Random Acts came up, I was like, oh my God, I would love to have Amanda on this because I saw that side of you that's so funny.
Right.
You know? And then when she read the script and said, yes, I was through the moon. And yeah, it's been great. Like, she's so
been really
hysterical.
fun.
Absolutely.
And sexy.
Yeah,
And
beautiful.
there's like lots of sex in the movie.
Oh, that's right. And you star with Zach Santiago.
Zach Santiago and
And
Ted
you-
Whittle, Sonia Bennett. Oh my God.
Katie Isabel.
Katie Isabel and Robert Maloney.
Yes.
It's a great cast. Actually, it's a phenomenal cast.
We're so excited for it. Yeah.
And a lot of the cast they have elements of their characters in them, you know? Which is really neat to see.
And so the genre of film then, what would it be? So it's a romantic comedy?
No, it's an anti-rom-com.
Yeah,
And that,
it's the anti-rom-com.
It's
a
against-
comedy. There's some really strong dramatic moments because you're catching people at the sort of falling apart moments of their love. So it was a very passionate love affair. You catch at the end of it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So it's quite dramatic
That's
and
tragic.
quite hurtful.
Yeah.
But we find great moments of comedy within that, obviously.
Right.
It is sad when you have a lot invested, right? A lot of time and energy and feelings and emotions. So I can understand that. And a lot of people could, I'm sure, you know, relate to this film. And how exciting that you're in it. And what do you think about going from, you know, sci-fi, Sanctuary, Stargate, to this romantic comedy?
It's coming home to me. Katrina and I talked about this. I co-founded a comedy troupe in Toronto called Random Acts,
Which is
back
so
in the day,
random.
20 odd years ago.
How random.
Yeah, right?
And so that's where I started, was comedy, doing comedy on stage and sketch comedy. So, and then I found myself in the milieu of sci-fi, which has been phenomenal. But after 15 years of, you know, fighting aliens and monsters, it was really nice to go back to
Yeah.
pure balls out comedy.
Yeah, to switch hats. And then,
And then to do a show called Random Acts of Romance. It was
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
I'm coming
It's
home.
meant.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's like, I
so
have to do
meant.
this.
Yeah, yeah, it was great.
and as well, not only that, but you switch hats. You're also an executive producer of Sanctuary. Yeah. So how is that? So from the acting to the executive producing.
It's like two different parts of your brain.
oh my goodness.
It's completely two different
Yeah.
parts of your brain.
Yeah.
Acting, I find, can be very self-absorbed, and so it's really nice to get a big picture of the entire production of what everyone does. I mean, not to point you out, but our boom operator is standing hunched out in a little alcove right now, which is crazy, but there
Yeah.
she is doing it, right?
Yeah.
You have to have a full appreciation of what everyone on this set is doing.
Absolutely.
And I think as an actor, you get so sometimes cerebral, and it becomes very self-indulgent, and it's nice to sort of
That is amazing. And so that enriches you not only as a character, but
As a human being.
as a human being.
Yeah, and as somebody in the
For
industry.
sure.
And one thing I noticed about you is you're very nice to everyone and very thoughtful. And I think maybe you are anyway, but I think you probably appreciate it.
But don't tell anyone. I don't want that getting out.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it is just so lovely to have you guys both.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Thanks.
thank you.
Yeah, fun.
And we hope that you guys enjoyed us here on
Yeah.
Get Cooking with the Stars. Amanda, is there anything else that you'd like to say to your fans out there?
Thanks for supporting me. Gosh darn it. Hope you like the food. Well, I'll eat it for you and tell you that you like it. But yeah, no, just thank you. Thank you, thank you.
No,
as
and
always.
thank you. And Katrine, to the people who are anticipating Random Acts. and
Right.
Romance.
Well, our website is randomactsofromance.com, and I'm keeping everyone updated as we go. So, check it out. And
That's
Yay.
wonderful.
Yeah,
All right,
thank you,
gang.
thank
So
you.
we're going to get down
gonna
and
eat.
eat these lovely entrees here at the Terrace.
Gabrielle, what do you think about cooking?
I love cooking. But it's funny. I used to really love cooking, and then I had children, and then I had picky children who wouldn't eat what I cooked, and then I hated cooking.
Please, are there any clues? Suspects?
We'd know more if you told us what you were working on, Adam.
I told you. I'm trying to find a cure for her disease.
Which is an expensive proposition. You need money, resources, which means some sort of extortion plot or larcenous act.
What? No, I'd never resort to that.
Those lab fires were hardly an accident. And those toxins you were formulating at Oxford, I know you've created prototypes.
My daughter is missing.
And if you want to find her, you will give us names, places, safe houses. Everything you are secretly planning to unleash on this city.
You're mad.
Well, Amanda, you have such an amazing fan base.
I do.
And what beautiful people that care so much about you. And, the charities that you're involved with, the projects that you embrace. It's absolutely beautiful.
I've been very blessed from the start of my career, but especially with Stargate and Sanctuary, that the fan base has grown but been so stalwart in their support. And, I've said it before in interviews, but I find science fiction fans unlike any other. They're incredibly socially connected, socially aware, beyond generous, but also really there's this incredible network and family. There's a sense of family amongst sci-fi fans. So, for example, if there's a sci-fi fan who's on Twitter who's sick, suddenly they've got all this support from the rest of the Twitterverse who are following. And so it's an amazing network. But I've also found over the course of my career that women in particular, and young women, have been very forthright in telling their stories and their struggles and their lives and sharing. And so I feel a huge sense of responsibility. I feel incredibly grateful, and it's because of the sci-fi fans that I started Sanctuary for Kids. I mean, I would never have thought something like that could have taken off if I hadn't been introduced to the generosity of fandom. And so they were the impetus for Sanctuary for Kids.
That is amazing. And you guys have raised over hundreds of thousands of dollars.
350,000 as of January, in just under 2.5 years. For a very grassroots initiative, which is dealing with very small charities. So yeah.
And so how it's dispersed then? It's through the memorabilia from Stargate and...
Yeah, we do that. We do personal sort of appearances, like people can come to the Sanctuary set, or we do lunch on the Sanctuary chat.
fun.
We do Skype chats. The other actors involved with Sanctuary have been very generous in donating items. So, I mean, we're trying to make it more personal, and that's kind of in terms of the charities we're dealing with as well, we're trying to create a relationship with these charities rather than here's $5,000 to you orphanage in Nepal. We've created a relationship, so now we know the girls, and I've traveled to Nepal and met them, and so we're trying to keep it very, not only in terms of what we're offering the fans, but also in terms of where the money's going. And I think that gives you a really good sense of who we are and of what we're doing and the impact that it's having.
That is so great, and you're such a great and lovely role model for all the all the women out there and children that look up to you and follow you. Are there any words of wisdom or any kind of advice that someone of your stature?
I wish I had the confidence that I have now in my 20s, because I wouldn't have made some of the stupid mistakes that I made. But what I'm coming across more and more are women who are not feeling, and young girls who are not feeling validated based on a ridiculous judgment system that we have, which is even more exacerbated by television and the media, and I know that perhaps
Photoshop, right?
Yeah,
I know.
How do you compete with something that's been photoshopped?
That's not real,
right?
And, that's the problem, is that it isn't. It's embellished,
and we judge by a standard that is unattainable. And so, what I'm finding is these women who have been struggling with eating disorders or struggling with their own self-esteem, based again on a ridiculous set of standards. Now I feel like I can actually speak to that I can actually make a difference, that when I'm directing or producing, I can actually say, I want real people to be in the show. I want people of normal size, and it's not going to be the tiny supermodel show. And it's actually worked out very well in that people have, we cast beautiful people, but I think they're made more beautiful by who they are rather than not necessarily what they look like.
So you're a huge advocate of the beauty within.
Absolutely.
And that is so important.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What kind of cooking do you at home with your husband?
I do everything. Like we were talking in the kitchen, I love doing paellas. That's my new passion. I love Thai food. But I cook a wicked Christmas dinner, brining the turkey. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I like, and my daughter and I do a lot of baking.
Oh, that's excellent. And it was so nice to have them join us today. Yeah, and you did such a good job in the kitchen. And thanks you guys for joining us on this episode of Get Cooking with the Stars. I'm Lori Bell.